Robert Ruben Amorim has been speaking to the media ahead of Manchester United's home game against Leicester. He talked about DORGU potentially and Heaven making their debut. He talked about Leicester Martinez and Luke Shaw's injury, as well as the striker situation and much more. So don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and let's get straight into it. Listen, he said, let's start off with Lissandro and Luke Shaw. Are you able to offer any information on the injuries and the severity? He said, Leicester is a different situation. He's going to be out for a while. We don't know the extent of the injury, but it's an injury that is going to take time. Luke just a little bit, one small issue in a different area from the last injury, so we have to try to be careful with Luke Shaw. Now, on Leicester Martinez is a big injury. We know it's an ACL. Probably he's gonna be out for a long time. Listen, it's disappointing. We're gonna have to focus on utilising other players in that centre back position. One of them would be Luke Shaw, but obviously he's gonna be out. The thing is with Luke Shaw, he might be a good player, but you can't rely on him. Now, I've seen an interesting stat in, was it 4 or 5 years Bruno's been at the club, he has made 10 less appearances than Luke Shaw, who's been here since 2014, so 11 years. That is an astonishing stat, and just shows that Luke Shaw isn't available enough. And listen, there might be a good player there, but again, you simply just can't rely on just injury after injury after injury. And it's not Luke Shaw's fault, but you have to look at it. He's got a contract at United now until 2027. It's going to be very difficult for Manchester United to let him go. But listen, I know we can't rely on him. He's got another injury. It would have been now just under a year. We're very close to a year of Luke Shaw not playing for Manchester United. So you have to look at it from that perspective. Is he just simply not good enough? Now, the next thing, he was asked about DORGU and Heaven. The question was, DORGU and Heaven arrived, will they be going straight into the squad tomorrow? He said, we'll see, you guys have to wait for tomorrow, but they're ready to play, and there are two more solutions to help us in the moment. Now, he didn't really give anything away. I think DORGU has more chance than Heaven of starting this game. I think you could potentially see Heaven on the bench. I think they both definitely will be included in the squad. DORGU is someone who was essential for us at left wing back, and we're going to need him. And I think his quality will massively change the way in which Manchester United want to play. On Heaven, he's a young player. He's looking like he's going to be the understudy to Martinez. Now that Martinez is out injured, you could potentially see him come through quicker. Now, he was then asked on Sunday, he said that the club was trying everything to do something on deadline day, and ultimately nothing happened. Are you happy with the work that's been done this window? Do you feel more could have been done? What I feel is the club is taking its time, and we know the urgency of the moment of a team. But I think everyone here doesn't want to make the same mistakes that we did in the past. So we have to improve the players that we have and win some games. Then in the summer we will see, like I said, we are being very careful with transfers because we did make some mistakes in the past. And listen, he is correct. Obviously he's not going to say he wanted 3 or 4 players and he only got 2 as Leon and whatever. But listen, United's transfer budget is just struggling at the moment, and you can really see that we're not trying. I don't think we'll make a big signing in a while, to be fair, with the amount of money. We'll be looking at selling our 2 stars in Mania and Garnacho, so it does really show you in the position that we're at. In terms of transfers in January, I don't think Amorim's going to be happy. January is a difficult window, but again, you look at what Man City did, clubs are signing players. I think United could have definitely helped out with a striker on loan, but I think the priority was getting a wing back, and ultimately we did do that. He was then asked, do you accept therefore that the position of the team in the table may not change that much? He said Rashford went, even though he wasn't playing. Anthony's gone, Malacia's gone. They are experienced players. You haven't bought an experienced players to replace them, and you weren't doing well that in the league to start with. Do you accept that people are just going to have to deal with that? He said, no, it's the moment that it's hard to turn things around, and in a few games it's not going to be like that, really hard until the end of the season. Then we are taking the risk that you talk about because we want a different thing in our team and we want different profiles. That is my area. It was my decision to do that. Like I said, we are taking some risks, but that's what the team, we want to proceed. We want to win some games. We can improve our team. We have time to train, because I was always complaining about the lack of time to train. So now we have time to train. We are going to improve the team, the players, and like I said, want a certain type of players, different profile, and are changing the right way. Listen, I think it's interesting. We do have more time to train, and I'm hoping that will help us by going through in the Europa League. We give us some time off, which is always a positive. He was then asked, do you get concerned personally? You say it's a big risk. You already lost 5 home games. Do you worry at the back of the mind that if results don't change, everything goes well? Now that's your fault and you might come under pressure. Listen, yes, that's clear as what's exciting. I know I want to choose the profession. He basically said whether the results are good or bad, he has a clear idea, and he kind of really assisted on that idea, what he wanted to do. He said, maybe I am naive. He said, maybe I'm not. No, I'm not naive. I already said this many times. This is a sport result and we are in a difficult situation. Okay, he was then asked about Marcus Rashford. He said, Ruben, this is the first time he's spoken to since Marcus Rashford left the club. So I was wondering how you felt the situation with him personally, and obviously he's on loan, so there's a chance he could play. he could be back in the summer and how could this potentially play out. He said, guys, in the summer, like I said, we are fighting for our jobs until the summer. So focus on the games. Thankfully about Marcus, he's in Birmingham with Unai Emery. Do you take the questions for these not to another coach? We are focused on the players at the moment. Listen, there's obviously something that's gone on with the Rashford situation. It probably will come out at some point, but he's left, so we're not really going to talk about it. He said, he was then asked about the striker squad depth. He said, you only have 4 senior forwards, and the oldest of those is 23. That doesn't seem like a lot of players in an important part of the pitch, considering you want to go far in the cup competition. He said, we have to find players to play in different positions. What we can say is that we play with DORGU, we have one more winger to play in both sides. Oh wow, we have to find players in different positions. We can say in the way we play with DORGU, we have one more winger to play in both sides. Of course, it's going to take time. It's not going to solve all the problems. Of course, it's going to take time, so we're not going to solve the problems. We have to improve. We create chances. We don't score. We have many shots inside the box, and we can always hit one. So these small things, I think we can improve. I think Ahmad can score. Bruno can score more. Even Kobe Mainoo can score more. In that position a little bit further up the pitch. So we have to improve as a team. And we have a little bit more time to, let's see, the end of the season. That's the big thing. We have more time to train, which ultimately is massively beneficial for Manchester United. But let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. And peace. That's been the press of reaction.